Hello, my name is Dan Oakes, and I'm the creator of Cookin', the #1 best-selling recipe organizer with over 3 million copies sold. My team of programmers and I have been working super hard to make your cooking software spectacular. We have added 100 new enhancements so far this year. You can click on them and read about them right here. You can download these for free. Just launch Cookin' version 10 and it will update itself automatically. 50 of the 100 new improvements are super cool new features that are going to simplify meal preparation, save you time and money at the store, and make cooking fun again. You can read about all the cool new features right here, or just watch this video and I'll show them to you. One of the main areas of focus was to improve the performance. So when you double click on that icon to launch your cooking software, it starts faster. And right now, it's starting and launching twice as fast as it was before. And when you click recipes on the toolbar right here, watch this. Boom. I mean, it's there. Just like that. In some cases, if you had a huge recipe database with lots of recipes and lots of cookbooks, this could take 30, 60 seconds, maybe more, depending on the speed of your computer. Now, when you click recipes on the toolbar here, it comes up in less than 1 second. Once the programmers got it less to a second, I said, okay guys, we can stop timing now. I think we're there. One of the ways that we were able to achieve this performance improvement was by splitting the cooking bookshelf into two. So now we have a new recipes tab. This bookshelf here shows all the cookbooks and the chapters that are inside them. And when you click on one of them, you're going to see all the recipes inside that chapter. This is one of the ways that we achieve the performance improvement. But there's another benefit to this. When you click here on the cookbook itself, this shows all the recipes in the entire cookbook sorted alphabetically. So that's kind of handy. You couldn't do that before. And depending on your screen resolution, you can take and move this view wherever you like. You can customize it if you want to see all of your cookbooks and chapters here and all your recipes here. Then you can do that, and that's kind of handy. Or you could take and move this up here. Now I've got my cookbook view here and my list of recipes here. Or you could move it down to the bottom if you want, and no matter what happens when you exit Cookin' and start it again, it's going to remember exactly where you put this, and it's going to display it in that spot every time. Since this display is wide, I think I'm going to put this here for now for this demo. Another area of focus for us was on the internet recipe search. We added capture handlers for compatibility with dozens of new websites, and we reduced the capture failure rate. So we put in better error checking to deal with web page anomalies. You know, every website is formatted differently, so it's a real challenge to be able to magically capture the recipes the way we do. It takes a lot of work, and we've improved that now, so that if you're looking for a cake recipe, you're going to be able to find it easier and capture it. You know, I'm going to modify this. I don't want just cake, and this is one of the new features. You can actually edit your search term up here. You couldn't do this before. I'm going to search for chocolate cake. Now I've narrowed it down, and I can see some of the chocolate cake recipes here. But come to think of it, I was given a recipe recently that was a really good one from a friend, and they gave me the URL. I'm just going to go ahead and paste that into this search bar here. I'm going to put the URL in there, and it'll take me right to the recipe. And now when I click capture, watch how fast this is. I click it, 1001, 1002. This used to take about 17 seconds before, and we got it down to just under 2 seconds, which is just amazing. Sometimes programmers can get incremental improvements, but my guys are tearing it up. They're doing an amazing, fantastic, outstanding job. We're listening to our customers too. One of our customers told us that when he captures recipes off the internet, he likes to compare them with the original and make sure he got everything just right. So I'm going to go back and show you a feature that we added for him and for everyone else who likes to do this. I'm going to go to the new preferences window, and I'm going to say when capturing internet recipes, display the recipes in a new tab and split them horizontally. Okay, and now when I click capture to capture this recipe, the perspective changes, and now I can see the original recipe right here, and I can scroll down and compare it, and I can then go and compare the one that I captured with the one that I got here. And I just click recipes on the toolbar and it switches right back to where I was. Or the other thing I can do is split this vertically. So I can go to preference, split vertically, okay, and now when I capture this recipe right here, it splits it this way, and I can compare. Ah, yeah, okay, super. And now I just click recipes on the toolbar, and it goes right back to where it was. I thought that was a great idea from one of our customers, so we added it to give you that capability as well. And when I save this recipe, I'm going to save this. Linda DeHaven, by the way, suggested we make these drop-down boxes larger because they were too small for her. I'm going to save this in the Oaks Family Favorite Recipe Cookbook, and I'm going to save this in the desserts chapter. And when I click save here and look in my desserts chapter, what was that recipe called now? Savannah, I think. Here it is. There's that recipe. Now I may want to tweak this, but I may want to keep the original. So we added a new feature. You can right click here and choose duplicate. And now Cooking will make a copy of that recipe for you. So I've got this original one, and now I've got this copy. And I can click on this one and make all my changes and customize it without losing the original. We did a lot of work on this recipe entry window too. When you click new recipe here, I'm going to give myself just a little bit more room here. Or I could just move this down to here again. When you're entering a recipe, sometimes you focus more time on certain sections of the recipe than on others. When you're entering the directions, for example, you may want a whole huge lot of real estate here to give yourself plenty of room to type. So we made these sections collapsible to give you more space. I can expand these back again the way they were. And that's helpful. And we improve ingredient entry. If I type 1 cup of flour, now I can just press the enter key when I'm there, and Cooking will go to the next line. 2 tablespoons of butter. You could do this in Cooking version 8. We had a real hard time. We had a really hard time adding this feature to Cooking version 9. In fact, we couldn't do it, but we did in version 10. We had a programmer who figured it out, and that's awesome now. It makes it much quicker to enter recipes. We added quick fill to this brand field here too. So if you're entering flour and you tab over here and you say, I want gold medal, you can just start typing it and then hit enter, and Cooking will fill it in. So it's easier to find the brands you're looking for. Land O'Lakes, there we go, and so forth. We improved the Cooking themes too. So when you're looking at some recipes with food photos, for example, we show a thumbnail of the image that you can click on to see a larger one. And that makes it easier to see your recipe. Before, the image was taking up the whole space here, and it didn't work so good. Boy, this Easy Egg Benedict recipe looks really good to me. This is from the new cookbook, Your Time to Cook, that we just came out with today. I want to try these. This cookbook, by the way, has some really cool charts and graphs and things. And this pop-up is really nice. This way it doesn't take up your whole screen. You can just click off it when you're done. I like this ingredient substitution chart here too. This Your Time to Cook one was pretty handy, I thought. In addition to showing just a thumbnail, we now allow you to add photos and images to cookbooks and chapters as well. For this Oaks Family Favorites, I'm going to add an image. I'm going to say Options, Add Photo. And I've got one here from the day that we got a new puppy. There it is. There's the Oaks family. I can click on that. There's the little puppy. He's a monster is what he is. But the day we got him, we were super happy, as you could tell by our smiles. So now I've got this photo in my cookbook. In addition to displaying it as a thumbnail and larger, we resize them too. Sometimes when you shoot photos with your digital camera, they come out huge. The original one for this, for example, was really big. It was like 3200 pixels by 2448, which is huge. So when I import that into Cooking now and add that to my recipe or my cookbook or chapter, it resizes it, and then it makes this thumbnail here too. That's going to save you a big step. And I can print this photo too. When I click print here, by the way, and a cookbook is selected, now it's going to say, do you want to print these recipes in the cookbook format? I'm going to click yes. And now there's a new dialog also that says, do you want to print the nutritional values? Because computing this and calculating that information can take a long time. And if you really don't want it in your cookbook, then we thought, why calculate it? So now you can say, no, I don't want that. And now Cooking will go through, and printing is real easy now. There's about 500 recipes in this cookbook. And I can cancel it if I want. If I go, oh no, there's something else I want to do, I can cancel it. So you have a lot more control over printing. It's going to save you a lot of time. Another improvement that we added that you're going to like a lot is when you're importing recipes from our website, for example. A lot of people love our newsletters. And if you go to this one, for example, and you like this zucchini cake, look at that good-looking guy right there and that pretty woman. And look at this delicious recipe. That's a good one. Now if you want to save this into your cooking software, you just right click and choose Save Link As. And this is going to save right into my Cooking 10 download folder. And when I click Save here, I'm going to minimize this. Cooking, it's going to detect the recipe and import it automatically. Here's the cool thing is when it imports it, it takes you right to the recipe so you can see it. So you don't have to hunt around for it and search for it. And speaking of searching, the advanced search window has been enhanced as well. If I search for chocolate cake here, as soon as I hit enter and do the search, Cooking collapses these sections and maximizes this one here so I can see the search results. That way I can take a look at all of them. That's pretty cool. And it even shows which cookbook and chapter this recipe came from now too. That's real helpful. And we added a feature to allow you to control and shift click. So you can select multiple recipes from here and categorize them if you want to. We improved the grocery shopping list too. So if I click list on the toolbar here, I can edit these amounts. So I might say, no, I don't want 2 eggs. I actually want to get 8 because I want a couple extra for breakfast. We changed some of these amounts too. Rather than saying 0.00176 ounces, we just said, look, it's less than 1. Made it look a little prettier. We made it easier to edit brands. Now when you look at the package size, you can say, no, this comes in a 1 4-pound bag. And we added quick fill to these fields here to make it easier for you to enter your brand information. And you can control and shift click on this list too. So when you look at all these, you can say, no, you know what, I don't want this. You can shift click and control click. You can say these ones I don't want, so you can delete all these brands at once. And you can do the same with the ingredients and units too. We added this preferences dialog too. And that's kind of handy. It gives you more control. For example, when you exit Cooking, it automatically makes a backup of your recipe data from time to time. You can turn that off if you want to. I don't recommend it. By default, it puts it in your My Documents Cooking Backups folder, but you might want to save your backups to a different place, and so you can change that as well now. And when importing recipes, if sometimes it says, hey, there's a new unit or a new ingredient, and a lot of people just click Always Add New Units to the list when importing or use the memorized. And so now you can say, yeah, just do that. That way it'll never ask you again. So that's kind of handy. You can choose here whether to use abbreviated units or not. And you can choose the way the themes display the ingredients. And as I mentioned before, you can specify how you want your recipes to appear when you capture them. We improved the way that recipes are exported also. So when you click File, Export to HTML, it's going to export it in a format that's going to be Google friendly. So that if you publish recipes on a blog, or if you're a webmaster, those recipes that you publish from Cooking are going to get indexed and higher search results on Google. We made a lot of improvements to the Mac version too. And like I said, if you forget all this, you don't really need to remember it, but you can see anytime by clicking this link what the new features are. And if you're ever confused, we added this new Cooking User's Manual as well. Just click right here. My guys spent a lot of time on this to make it real easy for you. Now you can just scroll through and you can see all the detail that they added to this. That's going to make it real easy for you to take advantage of all of the features that Cooking has. You can click on these too, entering a recipe, and you can read about it. So that's going to make it easy for you. You can even print this if you want to. As you can see, the team is working really hard with this new manual. The programmers are working real hard. We're coming out with 2 new cookbooks every month. So if you're a member of the Cooking Club, you've got 2 to choose from, 2 brand new cookbooks in addition to the 150 that we have. And we plan to add more features coming up as well. So launch Cooking and just click Help, check for updates to double check. When you click About, it should tell you what version you have, and it should say 10.0.14 or higher. Like I said, these features are free if you have Cooking version 10. If you haven't upgraded to Cooking version 10, what are you waiting for? Upgrade in the next 5 days and get a discount. But do it today because Cooking's getting better and better. If you have any suggestions, send me an email and let me know because we're constantly getting feedback and making Cooking better and better. I hope you like the new changes. Have a great day.